God, I'm probably gonna get murdered for this video. Hi, I'm that guy called Andy and welcome back to another video. So a while ago, I made a video called Living in the Latrobe Valley, and if you haven't seen it, you can feel free to click on the linky link in the description down below. So for a bit of context, the Latrobe Valley is basically where I'm from. That is where I'm from, that is where I'm at right now, presently the day filming. That's where I'm at, that's where I'm from. And for some reason, I just like shitting on it. A lot of people don't know the Latrobe Valley that much, and a lot of outsiders just think we all sit around and inhale smoke that comes from the coal-fired power stations. Yes, we are very environmentally friendly here. But when I watched that video, I realized that there was so much more that I missed out on about the many different things that we do in the Latrobe Valley that annoys the crap out of us. Don't get me wrong, this place is a wonderful place, and if you ever want to visit it, feel free to come on down and say g'day. But there are so many things that I missed out on that many people who live in the Latrobe Valley can relate to. And if you don't live in the Latrobe Valley, well then, sucks to be you. Actually no, it's probably more beneficial for you that you don't live here. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started. When you were younger, you were automatically cool if you had your birthday party at the old Hungry Jack's or at the Fun Shack, which is now a gym for some reason. But they were the best places to go. The old Hungry Jack's in that party room with that damn playground. That damn playground was the best time, and I remember one time a kid peed in it. But then that Hungry Jack's burned down because, you know, that's just what happened. And for those people who aren't from the Latrobe Valley, I'll give you some context that might help. So basically, Moe is like the Geelong of the Latrobe Valley because it takes so long to get there and we can never be bothered going there. And Morwell is like that weird highway in-betweeny part that no one really goes to anymore. But like, it's sort of like that weird part that you gotta get through to get to Moe. I'm from Moe! And Traralgon is its own thing. Like, it's so big now, it's massive, it's ridiculous. Moving on. Here, you're either a Glen pub or a Nuge pub kind of person. One or the other. There's no in-between. Or you're like me and you don't understand the context. Maybe it's a straight thing, maybe it's because I'm gay. One good thing that's always good to do here is that you can always go to the Tyres Lookout to debrief with your missus or your mister, whatever boats you float. Another thing to do is during Christmas, you always go down Allerdale to look at the Christmas lights, always. And you go down Jack Farmer's Way and it is an absolute treat. Like, I don't know how they do it. Like, it is amazing. If you ever are down here during Christmas, you go down Jack Farmer's Way. It's what you do. And it is just absolutely spectacular what they have there. I'm honestly surprised they haven't made it in like the Guinness Book of Records with like the world's best light display every year during Christmas, because they bloody deserve it. When you're here, if you ever want to offend someone from Traralgon South, just say that Traralgon South is basically part of Traralgon, and then they'll hate you straight away. This also applies to people living in Newborough saying that it's just Moe, when in reality they're two technically separate areas, even though they're technically right next to each other. I'm from Moe! On my list, I just wrote the paper mill. Enough said. I remember one time when I was at school, there were other schools that came down to our school for like this inter-school sort of thing, you know, one of those things. And there were a bunch, and I was hanging out with a bunch of girls and we all went outside to hang out, and they legit, no cap, asked me,
why does it always smell like shit here?
And I had to explain to him that it's just the paper mill. You also know that you've made it really big and that you're going to become rich and famous when you make it on Gippsland's worst parking. Luckily, I am not there yet, but I don't want to jinx myself. And if you're from Latrobe Valley, you can probably recognize this. Attention, V-Line customers. The 1:32 service to Traralgon has been replaced by temporary coaches. Please make your way to the coach terminal to begin boarding. Just triggered some PTSD for all of you there. And if you ever go to Stockland Plaza, you always make sure that you do not park next to a pillar. Ever. Never park next to a pillar. Why? Because you could hit the pillar, and then you could knock over the pillar, and then the whole thing could come crashing down. Because that's how it works, right? But yes, no one parks near pillars. Like, you should see it. There's like 3 parking spaces per pillar, like in between the pillars, and there's like always, the middle one is always taken, and the ones like next to the pillars are always empty because no one wants to park there. It's really funny. And then for those people who do crash their cars into the Stockland Plaza, they end up getting a new car at By Natural Automotive Group. Another thing for you visitors to the Latrobe Valley, best places to eat I think is the Grand Junction. You know, they do a killer Parma, and you can also lose all your money on the slaps, which is great. Shout out to my friend Ashley, little fucker. Or if you really want to blow all your money, you can go to Cuba, right? Get something nice to eat there and get yourself a little drink, and then you go to the Village Cinemas just next door to it, right? And then you can put on a nice movie and all that. It recently just got renovated too, so it's looking really nice, you know? Another good memory when you were in high school, if you ever met someone new, you know, they might seem like a really nice guy, but then you learned that they went to Spag, so they're a complete wanker. And excuse me, that is all the things that I could think of at the moment of living in the Latrobe Valley. If you did live in the Latrobe Valley and you did like it, feel free to like the video, comment down below anything that I possibly missed by any chance. Feel free to share all this with all your fellow Latrobe Valleyans. Valiums! Oh my god, that's what we should be called, Valians. Can you imagine? Of course, above all else, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you would like to see the channel grow. I know I haven't been uploading lately, but yeah, what can you do? I'm gonna leave you with a question, and you can answer it in any way, shape or form. And the question is, are you doing anything tonight? No? Loon? I'm gonna get murdered for this video, I already am. Far out. Okay, I'm gonna go. I love you. Bye-bye!